that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So glad that you're here. Thanks for braving the cold and making it in. I was telling Daryl I woke up this morning and I thought, I'm going to hold a warm cup of tea. I'm going to snuggle in my blankets and I'm going to watch on Zoom. And then I thought, I'm the facilitator today. So here I am and here you are. But I'm so glad to be here. Daryl and I were talking about how it's a different energy when you're in person than it is on Zoom. So it is, yeah. I'm just grateful to be here. So, okay, Gabo wants to come up and say and help us welcome. Do you want to come help me just a second?
Yeah.
Hi, Zoomers.
Hi, Zoomers.
Hi, Zoomers. Hi, Zoomers. Wave at the camera.
Hi.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we're glad that you're here, Zoomers. Thank you we're so glad for the Zooming option to join us. Yeah, next week we'll do we'll have someone else come help me. So I'm going to do a little reflection to kind of get us in the mood, settled in, to see what we have in store for us today. And I had one written out, and this morning the universe guided me to this book. And I said, do you ever do this? You feel guided and you're like, what message do you have for me? Universe, what message do you have for me? So don't laugh, but there's someone who needs to hear this today. My oldest son bought this for me for Christmas, and we are Marvel fans. Were there any Marvel fans? Yes. In the room, and we love Marvel movies. And this is called Hulk Not Smash. And it's practicing mindfulness the mighty Marvel way. And so my kids know me so well. So I thought, what message do you have for me? And I opened it up to the page on Thor, and it has Mjolnir, that's the hammer that he wields, is that hammer, but he can't pick it up. I mean, there's a whole story there. You have to have seen the movies, right? Jeffrey can probably give us a better description, but this is what it says under Thor. You determine what makes you worthy. Mjolnir, the hammer, determines whether someone is worthy enough to wield it. We don't know how the hammer calculates a holder's worthiness, but it seems to connect to deeds, beliefs, and intent. If you don't believe you're worthy, you can't expect the hammer to. Mjolnir comes to Thor, known for a time as the mortal Dr. Donald Blake, and Mighty Thor and Jane Foster at different periods when it finds them ready. Each of them fight for good, testing their mettle against foes across the realms, upholding the belief the magical weapon has in them. Would that each of us had Mjolnir to attempt to pick up every day to make sure we're on the right track, making the correct decisions. Since we don't, you only have to remind yourself that you are worthy. So I thought that was fun. The universe led me to that for some reason, so there you go. Hulk not smash. Okay, so let's do the vision statement on the songbook, or it will also be on the screen together. Our Sunday gathering is designed to provide a weekly encouragement to individually manifest our highest good and purpose in our lives. Inner direction is the key. We reinforce positive directions for our lives and the infinite potential within us. We seek connections to create an open atmosphere of acceptance of all backgrounds, races, and lifestyles. We come together in a spirit of inclusiveness, embracing all spiritual paths, honoring God in an atmosphere of unconditional love. The sing-along song is Let It Be on page 29, and please stand as we do that, and then that will be followed by the meet and greet.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom
right, we're bringing it back in. We stay warm, hugging and all that, you know, like we are part of our family. This is family here. And it's fun to get to see part of our family every week. And it's hard to come back in from that part, I know. But we're bringing it back in here. And we're going to sit and enjoy a special song from the band. And then that will be followed by the chant, which I'll come back up and announce that afterwards.
On the arid rocky steep, where sunbeams burn and shadows sleep, a gnarled form, a ghostly white, drinks deep the heat of desert light. Not lush with green, nor soft with shade, but by the harshest breath displayed, Boswellia stand on limestone bone, a silent sentinel alone. It rises fragrant to the sky, as smoke where prayers and spirit fly. The tree that heals, though broken and torn, the sweetest breath in night and morn. The sweetest breath fills night and morn. Nomad halts, the blade is pressed against the paper, fragile flesh, a wounding scratch, a cruel scar, to bring the incense from afar. Yet from the cut no sorrow flows, but amber tears in slow repose, blue and the white, the crystal weave, fragrant secret, long to keep. The rose is fragrant to the sky, as smoke and prayers and spirit fly. Tree that heals, though broken and torn, the sweetest breath in night and morn. The sweetest breath fills night and morn. It rises fragrant to the sky, as smoke where prayers and spirit fly. Tree that heals, though broken and torn, the sweetest breath in night and morn. The sweetest breath fills night and morn. Tears of the Sacra Frankincense is born.
Our band, just has a way. They just pick the perfect song for every service. And Frank, is it all right if I call you out?
Sure.
I want you all to know that Frank searched the topic of the speaker today and found a poem and turned it into a song, right? Isn't that amazing? I know, and the band just, like, you would not have known that. That sounded like one that someone wrote for this. You guys are just amazing. I just gush over you. I just love you all so, so much. All right, and with that being said, the band is now going to lead us in our chant, which is the peace song on page 62. And then I think I'm turning it over to Sacra after that, after the chant.
This morning, excuse me, Charlotte was going to be our meditator, and she has some health issues. And yesterday, late afternoon, I heard from our speaker who was going to be doing Zoom. He was in his car, maybe racing across the country to a family emergency. And so he was very disappointed that he couldn't speak. But we have a very interesting, we're resilient at Morning Star. When you don't have a major, everybody's a leader, then everybody pitches in, and this is going to be an amazing service, and you're going to see why shortly. But you probably know that Greg and Charlotte and Roger and Mona do lead, and Karen's very active in the Course in Miracles. I attend as well. So I looked, today's January 18th, and our speaker who was going to speak is, his spiritual journey is hermetic. And so I tried to figure out what that was. And so I tried to come up with a meditation that would be in alignment with the hermetic traditions. And the bottom line is it's an inside job. The journey is sometimes long and arduous and goes deeper and deeper. And I thought, well, what else is the Course in Miracles except hermetic? So I'm going to represent Charlotte this morning, and we're going to practice. You're going to practice with me on lesson 18, and it's. I'm going to read it. Maybe it's a little dark in here, but maybe could I have some lights up here? Perfect. Thank you. Here's the lesson. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. The idea for today is another step in learning that the thoughts which give rise to what you see are never neutral or unimportant. If it also emphasizes the idea that minds are joined, which will be given increasing stress later on. That is very hermetic. We're all one. It's a big circle, all the way back to oneness. Today's idea does not refer to what you see as much as to how you see it. The exercises for today emphasize this aspect of your perception. The 3 or 4 practice periods, which we would do if you were doing the Course in Miracles over the day, we're just going to do the first one. And it'll be very short because you would do this 4 times throughout the day. So it's going to be a short meditation, and I'm going to lead you in this practice. And here's how it will go. I will be reading aloud, and I'll pause, and you'll think what I'm reading and think it in your mind. And when I pause, you'll find a subject, an object, or piece, your hand, or whatever. Just randomly look around. So here's how it goes. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see, and I might say to myself, the fireplace. You might say the door. You might say a chair, a person. You just randomly see where your eyes lead you. And we'll do this about 10 times, and then we'll have a short sentence of close. So, ready? I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see. And the close is, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. And so it is. Amy, do you want me to explain and introduce the next piece?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. We got our brave guy here. This is the yes guy. You need a yes guy. This guy will say yes. And so late, in about an hour to figure out what we were going to do, got permission from our speaker. This is I've been doing speaker committee for more than 25 years, right? I have never had a speaker do this. And this speaker, I talked to probably in November, and he agreed to speak, but he was a little unclear about what we would want to hear from him. And so he said, I want to send you something and get your feedback. He sent me his whole talk, December 18th, 1 month ago. Never had that, ever. And I said, this is wonderful. You just ought to share this. And he goes, well, that is it. I want your feedback, though. So he's so wanted to be able to talk to the Zoomers, and he's one of the top 2 frankincense experts in the world, and he's very humble. And I asked, can we use your talk and have someone present it? And he said, sure. And so guess who? And you ought to call Evans. You ought to call Evans. You know, his answering machine is just like great voice and a great message. So he's the one. So we took, but I had pictures of Brian, is our speaker generator, and there'll be a picture of him, and then there'll be some pictures. We pulled off some frankincense pictures, and Remy's he's always right there. So we're going to have an experiment, and it'll be recorded for Brian. And so shall we start? And I'm going to get out of the way.
Thank you, Sacra. And let me be one person to say, I am not alone in how I view the 2-party system. Signed State Question, the petition for State Question 836. You are an inspiration for sure. Okay, so this is by Brian Camgemi, and I'll just start. When my son was 2 years old, we nearly lost him in a sudden tragic accident. At the same time, my businesses were failing, finances were collapsing, and the ground beneath everything I thought was stable gave way. It was the worst possible moment when a young family needs certainty, and there was none. Anxiety and panic entered my life, not as ideas, but as lived reality. Beneath that was a deeper question that wouldn't go away. Is this really all there is? How frankincense opened the path. When frankincense first entered my life, it wasn't Boswellia Sacra.
He calls it
You got it, Sacra. Okay, gotcha. It should be Sacra, but whatever. It was a more common species, Boswellia papyrifera. And while it brought relief and a sense of recognition, it was only the beginning. The deeper shift came later, when my search led me to Boswellia Sacra. Once I began working with Sacra, especially when combined intentionally with meditation. My anxiety and panic reduced by well over 90%, not through force of suppression, but through a profound reordering. The constant internal alarm quieted, the body steadied, and the mind cleared. What struck me most was that the calm didn't feel imposed, it felt remembered. Burning Sacra didn't dull awareness or sedate me. It brought me into a distinct, coherent state, quiet, present, inwardly aligned. And what continues to surprise me is this. Even after months or years without meditating with frankincense at all, simply burning Sacra again reliably brings me back into that same meditative state. I don't need to be already relaxed. The scent itself initiates the shift, as if the nervous system recognizes the doorway and steps through it on its own. For me, Boswellia Sacra was not just supportive, it completed the passage that papyrifera had opened. It was not a remedy, it was a threshold. Among all frankincense species, Boswellia Sacra has long been regarded as sacred, and the name reflects that. Sacra is Latin for sacred, meaning set apart, consecrated, devoted to ritual use. When harvested properly, this tree does something remarkable. Shallow, careful incisions allow resin to emerge while the bark slowly seals and regenerates. On mature, healthy trees, this process can leave no visible scarring, little to no visible scarring. Even after decades, it is a tree that gives without being destroyed. Sacra trees are also long-lived. Many live well over a century. And in Oman, there are legendary trees, elders, believed by local tradition to be many hundreds of years old. Trees that have watched generations come and go, quietly offering resin the entire time. Calm without sedation. What the tree does physically, Sacra also does within us. Frankincense doesn't force calm. It doesn't tranquilize the mind or sedate the body. Instead, it works through many small, intelligent pathways at once. Certain compounds influence emotional regulation and perception, which contributes to the feeling of safety. Others reduce inflammation that keeps the nervous system locked in a state of constant alert. Naturally occurring terpenes support relaxed alertness. the kind of calm where awareness remains clear rather than dulled. The result is not numbness, it is presence. Anxiety softens, the body steadies, the mind becomes quiet enough to listen. And this is why frankincense was used in prayer, contemplation, and ritual. Not to escape consciousness, but to enter it more fully. Frankincense is a family. It is not a single resin, but a lineage. Some species were burned for purification and protection in the ancient world. Some were used by pastoral cultures to protect livestock and maintain balance between people, animals, and the land. Some were chewed rather than burned, valued for warmth and social connection. Others were used primarily for physical healing. Each species reflects the land it grows from. Each carries a different expression of the same ancient relationship between humans and nature. In many respects, the resin are the tears from the tree. Across cultures, frankincense has been called the tears of the tree. There is an ancient myth associated with Leucothea, a figure of loss, compassion, and transformation. Her tears shed in suffering and devotion, were said to fall upon the land and harden into fragrant resin. Grief transformed into offering, sorrow rising as smoke. Whether taken literally or symbolically, the story points to something deeply human, the ability to transmute hardship into clarity and pain into reverence. To this day, the frankincense resin pieces are called tears. It is a spiritual practice. I work with the Hermetic tradition, drawing on symbolic, nature-based practices that emphasize personal insight, balance, and inner transformation. Hermetic ritual practice focuses on direct experience through symbolism, natural elements, and contemplative actions rather than doctrine. It emphasizes inner discernment and aligning one's inner life with the rhythm and intelligence of the natural world. For me, spirituality is not about belief systems. It is about a natural order, symmetry, and relationship with the natural world. Frankincense is not a shortcut to awakening or healing. It is a companion, one of many tools nature offers to help us return to ourselves. Boswellia Sacra does not tranquilize the mind or sedate the body. It restores the balance through small, intelligent pathways. Much like the tree itself, it heals slowly, quietly, and without scars. The end.
Thank you, Evan, for being willing to step in and do that. That was so beautiful. And Brian, thank you for sharing that with us and allowing us to use it today to serve us and bless us. I learned so much. I have sacred frankincense essential oil in my home, but I had no idea that's what it is. Like, I just knew it was powerful, but I didn't know all of that about it. So it was really beautiful. And I believe following the service, Sacra is going to offer, I have it here.
Yeah, I purchased a diffuser from his shop made of Sedona soils, and I have the resin, this the Sacra resin. So we'll have a little short, some people might be allergic. So it's at the end, it will be in the back. It'll be a short meditation with the frankincense diffused.
Okay, so Sacra, after the service today, is going to be in the back. She purchased a diffuser from his shop with some of the soil and the resin, and we're going to offer a short meditation in the back afterward if you'd like to stay and join us. Thank you, Sacra. Okay. All right, now it's time for us to give back. There are many ways for us to do that, financially, through volunteer work, and any way that you can think. We are open to having your help. Karen and Mary will come by with the baskets, and the band's going to play for us as we do that. So let's go ahead and do the offering prayer, which is in the back of your songbook or on the screen. Recognizing God as the source of my supply, I joyously give of God's abundance, which is blessed and multiplied through me, and so it is.
Row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down. Picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. I need a spot to call my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Rain for grain, sun and rain, I'll find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music of the land. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down. Plant your rows straight and long, season them with a prayer and song. Mother Earth will keep you strong if you give her love and care. Old crow watching from a tree, he's got his hungry eyes on me. In my garden I'm as free as the feathered leaf up there. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rain comes tumbling down.
Woohoo, band! We love you. I love you. I think we need to normalize saying "I love you" to people. We just need to do that. But I love you, band. Thank you, Frank, Jeffrey, Daryl, and Ken. So good, always.
We love you too.
Thank you, Remy, for always being on top of things and doing such a great job. Thank you. Thank you, Karen and Mary, for all that you do with the finances. Such a good. And then I think, is June taking care of the kids? Yes. Thank you, June. She's not in here, but we want to thank her too for always taking care of those kids and keeping them occupied and teaching them and allowing them to be who they are. It's what she's doing with them. I don't know that we have ever shared this, but what she's doing with them is such a beautiful thing. It's a curriculum, right? It's meditation, yoga, arts, crafts. Yeah, she has a program that she uses with the kids. They're not just in there going crazy playing. I mean, they are playing, but they're learning stuff too. So I feel really grateful. Right, we're not going to tell you how exactly. Good stuff. Okay. Any announcements? No one has told me they have announcements, so there are none. Okay. Next week's speaker is Zach Kieft. We'll go with it. Celia's son. Oh, okay, yeah. And is he going to be in person? Wow, okay. It's called The Poetry in Life and Death. G.Z. Kieft is an unaccomplished poet, his words, who often writes about the beauty in life and the wonder in death. He has published a Halloween poetry book called Bonne Nuit, which features a collection of playful and contemplative poems around the mythos of death, depression, and of course, Halloween. For those of us limited to the English language, Bonne Nuit, pronounced Bonne Nuit, totally messed that up, is French for good night and said before someone sleeps. 2 stars for anyone who learns a little French in advance of the service. I already like him, already love him, right? During this talk, Zach will be reading a few poems and talking about the meaning behind them. 2 of our members have already read his poetry book and gave it 2 thumbs up. So we're in for a treat. I'm looking forward to that. All right. I think it's time for the prayer for protection, and then we'll circle up for the peace song. I do want to ask, though, in front of everyone, because if I have this question, I'm sure others do. Sacra, you were able to order some of his Brian's products. Is that from his website?
Yes.
Like, how do we do that?
But he's also closing his store March 1st. All these things were happening in his life.
Oh, he's closing his store March
I
1st.
don't know where he's going at this point. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So we can reach out to him to see if
Yeah.
Midge,
Can I just share this? Because this
Yes.
is such a cool connection.
you want to come up here? Yes, please come up.
I mean, when we talk about
Go for it.
everything is connected, this is just. So those of you who know, Mike and I went to Sedona in the fall, and we were, hiking and having this amazing time. If you've never been to Sedona, it's just so awesome. And I kept driving by this store that said Sacra and Spice. And I kept looking at that. I thought, oh, my Sacra's here. She's with me this whole time. And then I said to my husband, I need to get a picture of that so I can share it with her, so I can show her the store that she has been named for. And so I get out and I take a picture of it and I bring it home. And of course, Sacra can't just be satisfied with a picture. She wanted to know the person behind this. And thus the story begins from a picture of a store to our brave, bold head of the speaker committee for 25 years, who constantly just says, well, what the heck? I'll just reach out to him and see what happens. And that's how we became connected to Brian, and then got his words, and then Ev shared them. And I just, how cool is that? The way it all fits together all the time for our good, for our growth. Thank you, universe. Thank you all.
I love that. To me, that said, we just need to trust. Like, things are just going to happen the way they're meant to happen. We just need to trust that it will.
And the universe
Thank you,
knew
Midge.
way in advance. That's
Right.
what impresses me.
Yeah, Sacra
I think
said,
it was 2 months ago the universe figured this all out.
right. For you Zoomers, Sacra said the universe knew this ahead of time, that it already had this planned out, knew it ahead of time, and we're just falling into line, following steps. So thank you so much. Okay, so now, prayer for protection and then the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and so it is.